Welcome back, everybody, to more MDL Land Final action. We're getting ready to hop into game number 2 of EG going against LGD in the lower bracket semifinal matchup here. Back with Gods, of course, and wow, EG, fantastic draft, good stall tactics, secures their game 1 victory. Now we got to look to LGD to see what they want to do to respond to make this a 3-game series.
Really good, solid Dota from both teams, but I feel like from LGD to beat EG, they can't just play solid standard LGD Dota. They have to raise their game, do something either special or different with the draft or with their play. They need to kind of add that bit of extra aggression, which they're not really known for doing, but they can't just play standard LGD. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do in game number 2.
Let's go ahead and find out together. We'll hop in the draft right now and see what is in store for us. And wouldn't you know it, first pick going to be Lena here. It's EG with that first pick after banning out the Night Stalker Darkseer. LGD got rid of the Faceless Void. No more Earth Spirit for this game, and they will pick up Vengeful Spirit and then the Invoker as their second grab. Opting to pass on maybe an early bid for the Bat Rider. They put more favor in at least securing the Invoker for themselves or not allowing EG to have it, even though they've already committed for the Lena.
Yeah. I think R2K prefers to be... his bats in the past, go way back, it was one of the best bats out there, but he's been playing more of those kind of tanky frontliners. Night Stalker and Darkseer tied, so some of those banned out. Although I guess the Night Stalker more often the DDC support, but LGD being denied those same two heroes, and Night Stalker really is, to me, that key hero which defines so many of the Chinese teams right now, and something that I imagine EG moving forward, if they get past LGD, will continue to ban. Even at the major against Chinese teams, potentially if they went on to verse a team like D-Home, I think we'll see it out of either OG or EG in the finals against them. But EG mixed things up here. They go for the Lone Druid here in game number 2, something that was looked over in game 1.
All right, so something a lot of the Western crowd has been favoring a lot, and we'll see if LGD have the burst experience, kind of take it on right now.
So probably a tight ban in the second stage just because it's an RTK hero, and there we go.
Yeah.
RTK hero, good against Lone Druid. That pretty much says it all.
And the Chen here, typically something that often will go hand in hand with something like the Lone Druid, only to ramp up their push and possible 5-man game a bit. That will be taken away. And I know coming into this event, you would have thought EG and Chen was something a bit far-fetched, but yeah, PPD has been flexing his micro muscles a bit and exploring the Chen, but people have been suspect a bit to say that EG still are learning a bit on how to work around the Chen. It's something a bit unfamiliar to their playstyle overall.
Yeah, they're getting better, and I think it's a hero worth banning just because of what it can do with the Lone Druid in terms of push, but EG definitely not like one of the best Chen teams out there, but still a potent pick. I think for LGD, a hero that they might go for, which is another kind of hero that's kind of been seen a lot of the Chinese teams go for, is Spirit Breaker as well. It's good for pressuring the Lone Druid in lane. You've got a lot of good setup around the Invoker, and having a Spirit Breaker in the mix, I think, is a really strong pick, either in the full position support role or for the offlane for ROTK. The thing we saw, the Invoker with the Spirit Breaker was something we saw OG do earlier today. And for now, a Brood ban. All the teams are suddenly like remembering Brood, like, oh yeah, thanks eHome. That hero is not going to be forgotten for another MDL match. Like that, every single game. If it's left for a 4th pick, the team is aware and recognize that it could be 4th pick now that it's been done once.
eHome were the first to pull it out at the perfect window, perfect time to get it done.
Gets them into the grand finals. So,
or you go next level and you bait out the Brood, and then you had set up an Axe as the last pick.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
No, if there's like a 4th pick Brood, it's because the team is feeling like they can deal with it or hasn't answered to it.
All right, so a lot of hate obviously towards ROTK, and as we go down the list of what is available to him, what are the rest options? Phoenix is something, but I don't know if you want to get it against Selena already, plus a Lone Druid Bear might be able to, break the egg pretty easily.
The Bear's actually quite bad against the Phoenix, because the Spirit Bear doesn't count as any hits. So it's only the hero himself, and he's often in melee form, so Lena pretty good. They've got the whole draft to kind of deal with the Phoenix if you pick it up. It's like a 4th pick type hero. Doesn't give them like a good frontliner with Phoenix Invoker. That would have to come from Silo's hero, which is not really the role Silo plays, like that fighting carry, unless it's a Gyrocopter, which is possible. But again, that's not like a fighting carry with a good stun or lockdown. You need like a Wraith King if you want to go for a Phoenix, I feel. What other... The Spirit Breaker mentioned.
Unless LGD decide to put together a Drow lineup now. I have the Venge already. Invoker could certainly benefit with it. You have the Alacrity combo.
Yeah, they haven't done it themselves, but it's something like you can always pull out, and it's more about the strategy rather than having to be like experienced and played it a lot or have it like. There's no players who are really known for being draw ranges.
They'll go with that Spirit Breaker you mentioned, so they get
This
that
is-
frontliner.
This is I think was a really good pick for them here, and like a clear kind of LGD hero that can be aggressive, cause problems. But EG now will look to respond, pick up probably a support that can cancel the charge, be defensive, Tusk, good defensive support.
Tusku continues now to begin to feel like the poor man's Earth Spirit at times.
Poor man's Earth Spirit, poor man's Night Stalker even, poor man's Spirit Breaker. He's still good though. He's definitely still good.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
he's one of Fear's go-tos when the Earth Spirit isn't there. Could have been the Kunkka instead, but they wanted something with a bit more defensive save potential.
Yeah.
Another
Visage.
Visage, so
Might
LGD
still be a Drow lineup.
worth a ban if you're EG just to not get like cheesed into a game 3.
'Cause I don't
Drow,
see them
well,
doing
there's-
Lycan again.
They really could though. That's the thing. Drow or they're more comfortable with the Lycan. You lost with Lycan, but I mean, looking at this draft, you don't have the Kunkka again. They're not going to likely pick the Kunkka, so you can like use your
That's
fifth ban
true.
to protect the pick a bit. And I think Lycan's still really good for LGD. Then I don't think they will be deterred because they lost with it.
Then I would hope we'd see the PPD tree. The old school PPD tree. Tree gets the lockdown for the Lycan a bit. But in the meantime here, we'll have to see what they do kind of substitute with. How much they favor like additional lockdown or outspam if it is going to be a hefty push.
Curious if it's a Universe or RTZ Lone Druid as well. Something like a Gyrocopter is always good against Visage, gives you some good deep push and a good kind of fast-paced safe lane carry if you want to run the Lone Druid in the off lane.
That's true.
And the off lane pool right now is very small.
Yeah, Clockwork's not cool anymore, so you can't go for that. Though, who really knows, right?
There's the Nyx, which comes out every now and then. That's kind of I don't know, I wouldn't say it's an RTK. He's not had the best success on it.
Oh, that one game, yeah.
Universe plays it from time to time. Universe is really versatile though. He can the Shaker can come out as well. Shaker's still good here.
Sand King, it'd be fun to see again.
Yeah, so I don't think EG are too concerned if it's going to be an RT Zolander. They're not like, oh, what's left for the offlane for Universe? His hero pool's so small. No, that's definitely not the case. But LGD, yeah, they're likely thinking. No, they've got their so it will be a RTK Spirit Breaker for the offlane, unless it's a Venge in the carry role.
All right.
Deep push.
So obviously, PPD specifically a big advocate still of Winter Wyvern.
Yeah.
A lot of people are quick to just get that stigma like, oh, Winter Wyvern, the new ult, it's trash. But I tell you, if used at the right moment, it will just instantly delete a hero. Plus, you still have the benefit of a long-range lockdown, even if it's a single target.
Yeah. And they have the benefit of seeing what LGD are doing now, because they have the final pick in the draft EG. So it could be a lot of things with the Venge as a core. It could be a last pick hard carry for Syla. It could be a fast-paced hero like a Drow Ranger. So this gives EG time to wait and see and then base their last pick on what LGD go for, whether it's all-in push, more late game. And EG themselves have flexibility to adapt because of Lone Druid being able to be run in the off lane or the safe lane for RTZ.
5 seconds remaining.
Winter Wyvern just provides also such great outspan with that. Those shards.
Reserve time.
And I assume the birds will also be locked in from the Winter's Curse. And if they do decide to go for a Lycan, you're talking Lycan plus Wolves plus possible Necro Book. I like it a lot.
Turn to pick.
But now on LGD, will they go the Drow? Will they go the Lycan? Will they go something completely different?
Morph ban. EG don't have any good catch or kill from Morph, so they just want to ban it out, knowing that LGD, the kind of if they're not going to change how they play, they need to pick a better late game carry than the Lycan, which would be the Morph. So I think EG is basically saying, I don't think you guys can kind of change your play style to beat us. So if you want to beat us, you're going to have more suitable heroes. But no Morphling.
5 seconds
Terrorblade is there. Is this a Terrorblade game? Could well
10
be.
seconds remaining.
There's a lot of bursts. You got Lena, Winter Wyvern also helps deep push, but
5
Provides them a
seconds remaining.
respectable late game potential, but the Spectre is actually going to be the choice.
different from LGD. We've seen a lot of this from Secret, but even they kind of stopped picking as they move to the playoffs. And last pick,
any
Universe
Dota.
Enchantress.
Oh!
He's finally pulled it out. I can't believe EG had not pulled this out more or earlier. I'm not sure if they've done it at all MDL since we didn't see all their games, but he's been playing this a lot in his pub games.
Do LGD know what's in store for him? Do you think they have a lot of experience going against the off-lane Enchantress?
I mean, they've seen what complexity we're doing with it. They were playing quite a lot of it. Whether they know like all the extremes you have to go to deal with it, like block that big camp by the secret shop. I think EG know EG have versed it and played with it before, so they probably know you have to like protect that camp. And
Yeah.
I think LGD are gonna have their work cut out for them dealing with an Enchantress here. Visage with 0 armor at the start can just get wrecked by the Enchantress creep as well. Fear roaming around with Tusk, there's a ton of kill potential with the snowball in, the ice shards block, and the Enchantress creeps. So very dangerous laning stage for LGD, who picked up a poor laning hero in the Spectre.
And if they don't get to that camp and block it out, Universe pretty much has a guaranteed solid laning stage. I mean, even if he's not going to be able to go on the aggressive and get those kind of kills, at least he'll know he'll be able to get the XP and the farm necessary to be a problem potentially later on. So it should be a good one, folks, as we hop in. It's going to be game number 2 here. Evil Geniuses already up 1 game. LGD looking to try to take this to a 3-game stretch here.
And this is the movement kind of talked about from EG. Protect that big camp. They're covering both hills. They don't want any LGD movements towards it. And I mean, for LGD, it's like, unless you're going to TP to try and go out there and ward it as fast as possible, it's very difficult to get there and to go high, like to go from the river to the high ground against EG, who are going to be there waiting. And LGD's level 1 fight, a bit lackluster. Invoker, Spectre. Level 1 Spirit Breaker charge is kind of meh when you don't have the bash.
EG seems to be splitting up. It looks like they've already know that they might have just secured the top rune, and they'll bring some extra company down here towards the bottom in the form of Fear. It's going to get the early ward down. Now they get the intel across the river, and they'll see how the lanes are potentially going to be set up, or what the hell's going on here. Runes will be split apart, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything all too surprising as far as where the lanes do decide to fall.
Ooh. Not good for DBC.
Actually, or not. Spectre to the off lane, is that what I'm seeing here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how they decide to... They're essentially sacking the Spirit Breaker, because that's a lane Spirit Breaker also will not have a lot of fun with. Winter Wyvern starting on the top lane as well for EG, but that's kind of a, I think, pseudo-temporary thing. They're expecting to have Lone Druid 1v1 against the Spirit Breaker, but these lanes going to be a bit of a slight surprise for EG. I still think EG have a big laning advantage, because they're going to... Enchantress can win the off lane / just jungle a bit. Lone Druid can still actually get farm down here.
Yeah, he'll be able to get some farm.
Not the ideal creep, though. You really want to get the Satyr's the dream creep for Enchantress, or the Hellbear's the second best.
Alright, early stun. They're going to try to force Arteezy to use and chew through that early bits of regen here. And they'll do some good softening up. He's got 4 tangos, a fairy fire, and a salve to work with, so they're going to have to do a lot more work if they want to really force him out from the lane or take him down. And yeah, Universe, not the best creep ever, but, you know, great lane. And Enchantress against farm is going to be doing a lot of work. Look at this pressure onto Maybe. And they're going to be able to take him down with the assistance of Fear. Nicely done. Great setup, and it's payback for that Earth Spirit hate in the game number 1.
And PPD is roamed in as well. They might be looking for that insta re-kill on TP. He's coming in. This is the we're calling the ROTK play.
Aww.
But his positioning very good right now on the south side of the tower, and already Venge is rotating to back him up.
LGD not for, you know, not as strange to the whole come back to lane and get ganked once more, but this time they have MMY as assistant, so they'll ping him out right now, but they do
still
decide
looking
to
to go,
jump.
it looks like.
Do they have enough firepower here? There's going to be the roll. Arctic Burn already going to be committed. MMY steps in, gets the quick stun into Sumail to try to stop him from moving on forward. Dragon Slave does burn him a bit, but not going to be enough to take him down.
Still good damage being dealt, and to both those heroes. Invoker salves up, and
yeah, MMY has to head all the way back to base to fill up.
oh, this is that's some rude, just last hit Savage Roar usage.
Oh man, it's already looking. I mean, Universe second in CS now, flirting around between that. A free lane for him, untouchable level 2. I can't help but get an early impression that this Enchantress could be a problem later on, but we'll see. LGD
Just
are
the
gonna
fact
be doing about it.
Ortizi's holding his own
Yeah.
against an aggressive duel / tri-lane. Venge kind of roaming around a bit. He's not farming well by any means, but he's got 6 CS here or there. He's getting all the experience. He's poking, harassing at the Visage. He's using the Savage Roar to like make the Spectre miss the last hit here or there. Now Sumail, Arcane Rune, is gonna just keep the spam out and really put Invoke under a lot of pressure in this mid lane. Just having that low mana cost on your nukes this early on gives maybe a really rough time. He's only got 1 point in Quas for the HP regen. And
Look at this, just with the assistance of PPD, he's going to be able to Arctic burn back the Spectre.
smoke towards mid. Very kind
This
of
is ambitious.
yeah. Invoker can use any and all of his spells. He's gone for the 1 point in the value Wex.
He knows there's a window right now while Fear is moving to the bottom because they have that ward. So this is their best shot to make a gank onto Sumail. Let's see if they can do it. Magic Missile, Meteor, and it looks like they might be able to do it. All right, good presence of the map to know when it's the right time to strike, and it does pay off. Obviously, LGD going to be a bit on reserve, knowing the rotation from Fear on the bottom lane, but they still might be caught out. Look at this snowball on through. DDC able to sidestep the shard now. Spectre continues to go in, driving it into the bear, and now will be forced back. So no kill is going to be there. Just going to take some mild damage.
Much needed kill for LGD mid, but still a
Oh, boy.
laning stage advantage going EG's way. Slightly getting the
Oh,
CS lead.
Universe is going to be a problem this game, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't help it. I mean,
It's
the second they didn't go and even contest the pole camp at all, or at least EG were there to protect it, and then having to sack the lane, it's like, she's going to be a problem. And now, as you said, even their bottom lane aggro setup is not getting as much done as they'd like. LD's hanging in there with the CS, 15, 16, and 4 now. It's going to be pressure on LGD, man.
tricky game for them. And you've got these two great defensive EG supports where if you try and go and you try and burst down an Enchantress, you've got the Cold Embrace. You've
They
got
don't
the
have
tough
to worry
snowball.
about that top lane. It's just they'll
Yeah.
make the rotations between mid and bottom, and why don't we just make stacks along the way and just constantly try to be off the radar and keep LGD guessing.
It's already Treads, Wand, and plenty of
I'm
early game
curious,
edge over this lane.
I don't know how Universe likes to build it up. Is it?
I think there's only so many different ways. It's either like the Dragonlance drums and the Ag Scepter, like the three
Yeah.
big items. It's whether some Enchantress players don't get the drums. Some go Dragonlance first, some go drums first. I've seen a few even rush Ags for Melons had one game where he rushed Ags, but it was because he was having a really bad time and just wanted to go straight for it. So
Yeah, just casual Arctic Burn harassment here, but there actually is a charge out, and look at that. MMYA has appeared. Magic Missile, Sunstrike. He does get the Cold Embrace off. The Roar trying to help out, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. But man, they certainly did stall him out quite a bit, and it feels like a sweaty effort coming out from LGD just to get down one defensive support.
looking for the Entangle at bottom. If he gets it, to kill. If he doesn't, it may be a kill anyways. DDC.
Root Lord,
No boot.
not even necessary.
He's going to save the roots for the Spectre, perhaps. Where are your roots?
Oh!
Admiral
Microing the bear
Bulldog
out
would
in
not be
front.
pleased.
Oh, he's blocked in now. He's going to go into full man mode now.
Give the man
and
a
they are
root, for
diving
Christ's
in.
sake.
And Sylar is just backbanning all the roots out from the
Roots?
game.
Please?
Not yet. It's got to be now, right? On the death. He can't even. Yeah, there we go. Well, it doesn't matter.
The death swing gets the Entangle. What?
Jesus Christ.
It's, man.
Yeah, meanwhile, Bambi's just taking out a tower here with the pull through of her own
That's
little
the thing.
potato creep.
For LGD, Spirit Breaker's the hero that needs to rotate off the lanes to help pressure mid laner, to help salvage this bottom lane where Arteezy's now taking over, and that gives Enchantress a free empty lane. So you got to kind of pick your poisons here for your LGD. Your laning stage has gone bad. You either salvage it by ganking the Enchantress over and over again, or your Spirit Breaker ditches the lane and ganks, which is going to be the plan of action. But he's already been made known at this bottom lane with that charge, so Universe is like, sweet, I've got a free lane, I can keep pushing, and EG just have to try and prevent any kills from happening at bottom.
Mid lane, snowballing on forward. They're looking to make it go into maybe, but there are reinforcements nearby, so just as fast. EG will 180 out from this lane, and they're looking for the weaker target here in Fear, but they won't get him. Yeah, this last pick Enchantress almost feels like the same Brood effect we saw from eHome here. LGD just maybe not expecting that one, looking to rotate chain. Oh!
He almost died to the Dragon Slave. That was super greedy from me. He's a Lena player himself. Probably knew exactly how much damage he'd take if it hit him though, and it'd survive on 20 HP.
7-minute 30-second Midas for a lone druid who had to go against a aggro lane. Pretty good.
Yep. Pretty damn good.
Oh boy. We'll see. I look to LGD to see how they're going to be able to get themselves out of the situation. They're going to try to make a move towards Enchantress, who probably has level 4 untouchable here. It will take like Soul Assumption, Magic Missile, Sunstrike.
Already scouted them. He's got the intel. They've got Charge Nether Strike, so there's a lot of magic damage. They're going for
He's thinking about it, but okay, ROTK rotates in. Let's see if they can do it. Watch the slow swing coming up, but he's got the Nether Strike, bumps him back, Magic Missile, Sunstrike, Soul Assumption, Meteor, anything. Let's see if they have enough power. They do. It takes 4 of them to do it, but they get Bambi down, and they're going to be taking their Troll Creep, it looks like.
Resources committed for that, and like Invoker TP's in, has to use Chaos Meteor Deafening Blast, which is the majority of his mana pool, so he's not even in a position where he can look for like a Sunstrike kill or like really offer too much to the rest of his team, and it just, I mean, frees up Arteezy to farm and pressure the tower. Mid lane Lina is not really in danger. That's like not even a loss for EG by any means.
No,
if anything, they see that and they're probably like kind of happy because of how much space elsewhere.
I needed to go back to base anyways.
Yeah,
you know? It's like
had
one
to
of
do
those
some
situations.
shopping. You guys been hogging the courier too much.
Yeah, and it does look like he's going for a mech.
Okay, well, we kind of talked about.
He's got his own take. He's got his own take.
He's got his own build. Yeah.
I wonder if that means they're going to ramp it up even faster. I don't know. Take advantage of the advantage they got right now and not even risk having the Spectre make it to the late game. Bottom lane, though, rotation in from MMY. Magic Missile onto Arteezy. He's in bear form, trying to stay alive. Cold Embrace, but he is surrounded right now, and that's not going to be enough. But look who's shown up. The Javelin Wilder. Not going to be enough to be able to get the right click down onto ROTK. Changes course, turns back. Sunstrike's there. Sylar with a double kill now as he takes down PPD. Here comes Fear now, snowballing on forward. Both with Universe now. They're going to be able to isolate ROTK and take him. So a 2-for-1 trade. Are they done now? Laguna still online, but I don't think there's going to be the opportunity to use it.
Yeah, nice rotation from LGD.
Yeah.
Arteezy just a tiny fraction too late to get the charge cancel with the Savage Roar. If he does that, he lives, but the Savage Roar hits him. The Savage Roar hits after the charge, and then it doesn't get the Venge on the as Venge TP's in, which means that Venge gets the stun off to follow it up. So, Tusk. Just like, I found some farm, guys. I'm a bounty rune.
Oh, I think.
It's he's got phase boot, so he's fast enough to get it out of there.
Yeah.
But to see what the plan's gonna be. Arteezy dying without the Spirit Bear, a bit annoying for him and his farm. His Midas is on it as well. He's probably just dying a little bit inside. Like, I can't use my Midas, guys. What is going on?
So going back to the mech pickup, before all that chaos broke out at the bottom lane, is that EG trying to respond to LGD's like Spectre? Like, we don't want to go late, we want to use this mech to be able to kind of move forward with objectives, and
yeah, they want to likely be able to hit this timing with the Bear Radiance, where they're just incredibly strong and can take every tower on the map, push high ground, take Roshan, and having a mech on your side really helps that. The only other hero would be like a good mech candidate is the Tusk, if he can farm the Arcane mech, but that could take too long to pick up.
just witnessed a nice clean gank onto Sylar in the top lane, and a potential response to come out right now from LGD. They've smoked, and it looks like they're going to be heading towards the bottom. ROTK makes the charge on forward. It's going to hit Universe. Sunstrike should be there. Deafening Blast, but the snowball comes out from Fear, readjusts them a bit. That's right, Tusk is still a thing.
That's the Tusk play to make.
And it will force LGD away from kind of advancing anymore. So
This good heads-up awareness. Fear recognizing that his 3 teammates just got to kill up top on the Spectre, so the one hero who's kind of alone showing on the map is Universe on Enchantress, so he's the most vulnerable and likely charge target, so he's just sitting behind him, ready to make that play.
And if LGD are committing for an Enchantress and coming up short, that means they've committed a lot of spells and everything for it.
And it gets that little bit harder to burst down the Enchantress when you have this mech too. You've got a chains done perfectly. If you get the mech off, suddenly there's this burst heal from mech plus wand. That it's just going to save it.
He spots Sumail. He's going to get the Yules off before the charge connects, but the Haunt now going to be committed, and well, the Soul Assumption is going to be able to finish off little Lina right there. They just anticipate she's going for that rune, and they punish her. It's an LGD special. We saw it in the last game as well.
The 5 heroes gank for 12 minutes in. But yeah, smart heads-up play, doing it around the rune.
maybe we'll go back to residing in the lane. He's got his Midas already, looking to build up towards the Yules here.
Did Spectre get an Urn or anything this game? What's the build going to be? He's saving money here. The Invoker's not Quas Wex, so there's nowhere in there. I guess it will just come on like a Venge or Spirit Break. Probably Spirit Break, RTK. He loves buying Urn on Ginkers. Yeah, he's got the Urn. I think it's better on the Spectre, but that's just like a playstyle thing where it's not a common pick for LGD. They haven't really adopted that playstyle that we're seeing the Western Spectre players do, where they always go for that kind of bad man build, or the build we saw Envy doing a lot with the phase Urn into Yasha or whatever it may be.
Double diffusal. Stuff like that.
So mech already up this early on. You can take tower. This is pre-Radiance where actually EG's really strong and able to fight.
Uh-oh. Maybe tries to go into Ghost Walk, but Fear is quick with the dust. Lands the Walrus Punch, and
the supports killing the Invoker at this stage of the game. It really
tag
speaks
team effort
to how far ahead EG are. Another tower going the way. Lone Druid getting the last hit. Makes that jump one step closer to the Relic, and should be looking at a pretty decent timing on this one.
Gotta look for the bounce back here from LGD. What is it going to be? Like, what is the next item timing? It's not like we're waiting for that
It's going to be
blink carrier to show up in the mid game. It's an Invoker and a Spectre.
It's going to be constant pickoffs, like you mentioned. Invoker, Spectre, what can they do? They've got global presence. They've got this ability to find catches in lots of places around the map. So use the Sunstrike, the Haunt whenever it's available. LGD are going to be looking to probably smoke around Haunt cooldowns. It was like they finally killed the bottom room, but unfortunately they've then got this period of downtime in between.
Oh, Smoke as he's hitting charge, but he will dish off the quick Yules, followed up with the stun. Universe and Fear are approaching, but they don't want to go down the river here and fear that LGD might be awaiting behind ROTK. So they change course, head right back up mid, and Fear is going to be sending out that little sigil here to see if he can scout anyone lingering, and LGD just kind of totally pull back.
And the Yules for maybe going to be their other playmaking item that allows them to find the pickoff. So their get back into this gameplay is going to be just through hero kills. They've got to get, if they've got the one ward in the enemy jungle, they need to just kind of stop the bleeding now, as EG is just getting away with so much, finding kills on the map, pressuring towers, and EG recognizing that LGD want to kind of try and find pickoff. They're just 5-manning around this mech of theirs.
Yep, mech online. Let's go to work, boys. Try to go for the tier 2. We'll see what LGD can do to respond here. It would require a hell of an effort and some serious spam to focus down just one
they
target.
Put a ward like that. That's a fighting ward right now. That's kind of why you put that down. You don't put that ward down just for the vision to retreat.
Birds get a couple of stuns there. ROTK pulls out the flank move onto PPD. Pulls out the Arctic Burn. There's the Winter's Curse, and look at that. It's 3 knocking down ROTK. It's not going to be enough to finish him off, but the impetuses do come through. PPD will get the last hit. And now LGD, let's see if they decide to retreat. Yep, after losing ROTK, this is
such a good
seeming to be their fight.
That was really well timed from RTZ, and a great Winter's Curse.
Now they can finish up what they started on this tier 2. LGD just in a bit of a pickle right now. They're not
booster.
Really in huge. Oh no, is this the beginning of the the ultra give up item?
Yeah, the fact.
It's just gonna be a trusty Vite booster. I feel.
I think it's a Vite booster to try and give him enough HP to fight while he farms the Radiance. I think is most likely, but we'll see. We'll see.
Until the tier 2s start going down, and maybe he gets picked off, and then maybe he might need more help. Oh, Freebird.
At least for now, he can hold gold until like EG are threatening to break a Rax with Aegis. Then he maybe buys the Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean, if you're tuning in just now and you see it's EG up just 7-6, I can tell you that doesn't tell the story. EG are way up and ahead at this point. You can see at the last hits right now, Sumail way at the top, net worth probably just about the same, and now they're moving into the pit. This could be LGD's chance to try to take this game back. There's the Haunt. The commitment's going to be on in, but there's the Snowball reposition from Fear, plus the Savage Roar is going to push him back. And now as they reposition, they put their focus onto RTK. A valiant swap from MNY to try to save him, but it's not going to be good enough in the end. Now they look for Sumail. He's going to get healed up. The power of the mech coming on through, and Universe begins to dish out the Javelins, but doesn't quite have a lot of mana to work with here. And they do manage to grab Arteezy and finish him off. Plus the follow-up is going to be the Universe grab. Maybe just secured a triple kill, and now LGD are going to be going into the pit. Plus they scouted out PPD and will take him down.
Invoker, unfortunate. That fight was going so well. Now here comes back Tusk. He snowballed in.
He's moving in. Guns a-blazing right now, but it ends up turning into a 5-man wipe.
Did you forget who his teammates were there? He dies back, but What a fight from LGD. Ever so unfortunate, the Invoker ends up dying there towards the end, but a huge swing.
Whoa!
Such a well-played fight from Invoker. He hit the Sunstrike to secure the kill on the Lina. The combos coming out from the Chaos Me doing so much damage, and now they get Roshan. Silent gets himself an Aegis. More farming Aegis, but once Horn's back up, I imagine LGD will be feeling really confident, look to go for that again. I think the other really key thing there for the Invoker and LG in general was that he went for that drums. That drums just gave him a huge boost in that team fight. Could have had a Yule Scepter instead, but it's like that single target when you need that team fight. Boost up everyone's damage, get in there faster, pop it and just try and fight. And LGD knew they had to fight to get back in this game, and that is the fight to make things a whole lot more even here in game number 2.
Certainly adds to his survivability so that when round 2 does kick off, they will be in fighting shape for it, because it started off, looked like EG were going to be able to reposition good snowball. They got the roar off, but a persistent LGD just took it right to EG, and they didn't really have an answer. I wonder if EG now consider waiting out, finishing off the Radiance before they consider really pressing on forward again into LGD. But then again, it's like, well, you're going against a Spectre. You do have a, kind of a time on your side.
They've got the Radiance now, so.
Easy catch on the ROTK, it looks like.
And possibly in a position to go for this tier 2 tower top.
All right, well, that's what you got to do. Late game Spectre, let's start to restrict her farming options right now by taking out all these towers, taking out that safety zone she's got, or at least restricting it back inside her base.
And this game was looking like there was no way Silo was going to be able to farm up a Radiance at a time where it was going to matter or going to allow LGD to still have rack standing.
All right, long commitment for Sylar. He ends up jumping towards the top, but
good defense play there. He was in a position where he could have just died twice if he gets caught there by a punch into Lina combo. Could just die again on respawn.
So tier 2 will end up going down. This leaves only the tier 2 at the bottom left for outer tower coverage right now from LGD.
It's still going to be EG like pushing forward despite the fact there's an Aegis on the LGD side. They have the stronger lamp, they have their Radiance. Spectre's banking 3.2k gold, so he's not in fighting shape. Even with the gold, the net worth lead going from like an 8k net worth lead to a 2.5k one, it still kind of feels like that 8k net worth lead because it's a Radiance burst, no Relic even. Well, I mean, the Relic is not it's the Radiant Spectre needs, and it's all this banked up gold that LGD haven't spent. Whereas EG just picked up the drums and enchanters, just picked up the Aether Lens. They've got items right now, whereas LGD is still trying to farm up some key items. So still very much a big EG lead for the time being, but that could quickly change because of all the economy boost that LGD just got from that one fight.
Here comes EG now. Bottom, tier 2 is the target.
Oh, this ward is going to make it impossible for LGD to defend. Yeah, they're not even coming near.
Let's see what moves EG makes from here. It seems like their confidence might be good enough to at least force a potential fight out from LGD while they still feel like they're the better team.
Pushing into Aegis. They know that Radiance, that Relic isn't up yet for Spectre.
Yep. Okay. Oh, try to go for the bear, but they do have the Cold Embrace. Looks like it'll be fine. Quick pull back. And they're just doing a bit of a slow siege here. Sylar not tempted yet to pull out a defense or a haunt, and it looks like that's going to be it for EG on this push.
They get a bit of damage, and we'll fall back knowing that the Aegis will be expiring at some point. And the Haunt's the big cooldown for them. They know that the Spectre's off farming the top side of the map and doesn't have Haunt. And just in general, Haunt giving as a vision tool and just a bit of AoE damage tool is very important for LGD fight. It comes up right now, and LGD are going to try and use the Aegis plus Haunt to take some pick-offs, get some kills here. I think it's a good time for them to go for a kind of smoke play. They already de-warded that hill by where the T2 tower is. They've got great vision around their secret shop, their ancients, the Roche pit. So going for a smoke play around this period could be a nice move for them.
PPD probably planning on placing a ward up here in the top somewhere, so they can keep an eye on Spectre trying to farm through their own jungle, or even deeper.
Charge bottom on Enchantress. They can get this kill with Sunstrike, I think. Okay, he's not going to go for it though.
Yeah, it looks like LGD are itchy for a potential pick-off. This is another attempt from ROTK, but does not want to overstretch his boundaries here, especially when he won't have proper backup. So we'll only be able to kind of hang in the lane briefly and not allow Universe to keep moving in.
Radiance almost up. Still not going to be like, it's not a game where you hit the Radiance and like, sweet, LGD is now in a really good position. They're still going to be on the back foot. They're still going to be struggling to defend their towers. If EG can get themselves an Aegis and just push around that, it gets very difficult for LGD.
Deep roll for the bottom here. Universe can't seem to get close enough for the slow, and eventually he will make the charge happen and avoid the trouble.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing between the two of them is they don't have any sort of disable or lockdown to stop him. Not really a lot of disable altogether outside of really Sumail, so yeah, could make it a bit difficult for anyone else to find picks outside of Lina. With the Aether Lens, though, it does make it a bit easier, so.
Yeah, they brought the game right back, and it's already swung heavily in EG's way, just in terms of raw farm.
They just have so much of the map right now. All of their jungle, they've been taking a lot of the jungle at the top.
It's only really Spectre farming, and the Familiars and Forward Spirits can move out on the map and get a bit of farm, push out lanes a little bit, but even then, LGD maybe aren't getting experience from it, so.
I'm sure EG would like to be able to get a bit more farm on Defear right now. He's bottom of the net worth right now, and you give this guy something like a Blink Dagger, then a lot of new options do open up, and maybe opportunities to catch out the Spectre who's just trying to farm out on the side, maybe. But we'll have to be on hold a bit. Still, Arteezy banking the most, highest net worth at about 12K. And EG might go for round 2, it looks like, towards this bottom lane. Only Arteezy not participating yet as he does pressure out this mid lane a bit, but they still have that tier 1 on the bottom of the TP2 and kind of round everyone up.
Yeah, vision a bit lacking for EG right now, but they've got great map control. All their tier 1s still alive.
Ouch.
So they can easily control the map without even having wards up, just because of how strong their lineup is right now, how much kill potential they have out of Lina with the Lone Druid Radiance, and for LGD, they just can't push out.
All right. Looks like we'll take what kind of breadcrumbs of farmer out there still for him. And EG will continue to wait it out a bit. It could be a complete stall out till the next Roche does come up.
Yeah.
One that EG would love to have.
And there's a PPD gem. That's actually kind of likely an item they may be thinking about and waiting on.
Yeah.
If you can starve out LGD, deny that. Right now, LG is able to farm their jungle and take what farm they can on the map because they actually have pretty good vision up. And something EG are going to look to deny.
Yeah, they also had good anti-vision. PPD had planted a deep ward in that top lane, but I just now noticed it was already actually taken away. I thought that was a pretty unorthodox ward too, but...
Similar thing with the tier 2 tower at bottom lane. That ward also got taken away, so... What's Sumail getting? Straight into the Ag Scepter. Just wants to be able to burst down the Spectre more than anything, I feel, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
This is going to come incredibly fast, where a lot of these heroes just won't be able to stand up to the raw damage it provides. It's not even about, like, there's one target for it. We saw last game where he has it and he just throws it on the... Like, he'll throw it on a Visage if it's a kill. Like, you take one hero out of the picture, you don't really mind which one it is too much, as long as it's a hero that isn't like, on 200 HP and already used all their spells. You kill a Visage, it's fine. You kill an Invoker, a Spirit Breaker, a Spectre. It's all good and dandy in the world of Lina.
So it looks like Orochi is going to be back up now. EG, got to get these lanes pushed out if they want to consider a go at it here. But LGD are also going to be having the wherewithal. They already have a ward on the high ground here. They're going to try to maintain vision so that they could maybe consider another contention. It worked out really well the first time, so why not? EG using that gem. It looks like they'll do a bit of a sweep through the LGD side. Or maybe, are they going to look for a cutoff here? Quick to make it out. Oh ho! Little does he know that actually could have connected if it was just a moment sooner, but he got there as soon as he could.
So LGD scrapping together what they can. I like the Blink Dagger pickup from maybe just puts him in a position where he's just a little bit more capable of going out on the map, pushing out. Has that little tool to either escape from the ganks or to use it to push his limit and then just blink into some trees and TP out. So nice little just cost-effective item when you're in a position like this and you have to play so cautiously and defensively.
Does it kind of feel like last game, but reversed a bit, where LGD can stall it out a bit and put a lot of eggs in the Spectre basket for the comeback play, or does EG just have simply a lot more farm than in late game than LG did in the last one?
There's definite comeback potential, but it's not like last game where it felt like at LGD were never really ahead by any means. Like EG were always in control, like in control of their, like, to some extent, last game.
I mean, they just took the gem, and it looks like they're going to be
Right
beelining
back.
it for the pit here. And they bought back. EG do not want to let LGD get this Aegis, and they're going to be moving in, battling on forward. They've managed to quickly take out Artur, and now they get Fear. LGD
Okay.
taking this game right back, and they want more blood. They're moving in for our Universe now. They don't have much to be able to right-click them through the untouchable, but with enough
range. Holy
yeah,
crap.
and now look at that follow-up charge. Universe goes down. Sumail caught in the midst of the ice wall right now. Silo with a double kill. It's about to be a 5-man wipe with a dieback onto PPD. And LGD will be able to bounce back from this, move to the Roche, get the Aegis here. What the hell's happening right now?
Aetherlands on Venge doing work there. That stun range and everything, just time and time again, locking these heroes in place, getting the pickoffs with the swap. And I mean, I think, like, you're kind of asking, like, can LGD like come back by just holding their own? They come back by fighting. That's what this lineup's really good at this stage of the game. Now that you've got the Spectre, Radiance, Invoker, Spirit Breaker, you want to actually take fights and brawl. EG themselves don't want to allow LG to take Roshan, so they kind of play into LG's cards perhaps a bit there. And LG with a team wipe into a Roshan, suddenly it's not looking so good for EG at all. This Spectre and Invoker are up there with the lone Druid and farm almost, and they just isolated Artur and burst him down right at the start of the fight, and from there EG didn't stand a chance.
It's beginning to feel a bit like it's, again, just Arteezy as the true core for his team. You know, I was suspecting the Enchantress to be a bit of a DPS problem later on, and I don't know if that's on the build or not, committing with the early mech instead of going, like, straight more for, like, Dragonlance and Ags, let's say, but I would be nervous now for EG, and LD is not as a potent carry as a Morphling in this one, so we'll see what the bounce back play is going to be from EG at this point, but bravo to LGD for that good team wipe and another Roche their way. Manta now complete for Sylar.
Yeah, EG just not getting that clean like pick off at the start of a fight, which you'd normally perhaps expect from like a Lina Ags. Sumail's been fairly quiet. He's just looking at the kill score 2, 4, and 4, and Lina who had a good time mid, got a good timing on all his items.
Uh-oh. They spotted out Fear. They'll get that swap back. The Haunt going to be committed right now. There's a Laguna, though. They are going to get MMY. The support bench will be going down. But as Fear commits on in, looking to go for the uppercut right now, could put himself in trouble. Great bird sense coming out. And Universe able to kind of chunk down and get a double kill for himself. Good Cold Embrace. Will be able to get the save on Arteezy right here. And now it's EG on the comeback here. They get the Yules. They get a hold of Silo right now. And they'll be able to also bring him down. That's going to be one life. Will they be able to follow up with the second here? Birds flying around, and it looks like they will be able to time out the LSA, and they will be able to just make a hard commitment for Sylar. Finish it off with a Walrus Punch coming out from Fear, and EG take back what felt like rightfully theirs.
Just a bit too deep from LGD. They had the ward down and everything. They felt confident because of the Aegis factor, but they just need to slow things down a little bit more, and EG punishing some over-aggression there really effectively.
Didn't even get the tier 1.
I think that's what they should have maybe been prioritizing going for, just putting the summons on the front lines, having the Invoker up there and just sitting back and waiting, trying to use the swap more defensively, or waiting for that one hero to be out of position and isolate him with the swap, but EG were all there ready to fight.
And there we see the Dragonlance and the early makings of the Agnum Scepter, so Enchantress's core potential starting to swell up quite a bit. And just as quick as EG will be able to take that team fight, they'll make the pressure go across the river here and get right back into the grind, it would look like here.
I don't also know if you saw who the Venge swapped in. It didn't look like he got it looked like he got like a Spectre illusion or something.
For the second swap?
In that fight at the mid tier 2 tower, because like he swapped and then like swapped himself in the middle of like the EG heroes and just died, and it wasn't like to pick off a hero.
He swapped Fear, it looked like. Initially,
okay.
but maybe
and
Fear went right to Snowball.
Okay,
yeah,
I completely missed it, which is why.
Yeah. He swapped Fear, and then Fear instantly went to Snowball.
Gotcha.
And then that way MMY was stuck alone. Sumail just zapped him right with the Laguna. And now maybe he wants 300 gold.
Okay.
Will he get it?
With RTK's help?
Oh, yeah.
You betcha.
So much hate for a bear. Okay. Here comes EG now. They summon the new bear.
Fight around some of those.
Smoke and
more
move.
the
Maybe
Invoker
LGD are
cooldowns.
going to be like, yeah, we're confident now. We just took down the bear. We got our woods back. And oh my god, is that EG? Yes, it is. Rolling in with a snowball, a walrus punch, and that's ROTK down. DDC A man on
Good
the run
gem.
without a TP and a gem in hand. He is very fragile, a delicate
Great
flower
kill
right
the
now.
neutrals and run.
He doesn't know where to go. Finally, Sumail, the speedy Lina, will catch up with him. Bada bing, bada boom. Even a Laguna for you.
Oh dear.
And now that's a gem. Back to PPD. Well, what looked like a LGD swing and a comeback right there. EG now have gotten a good, successful team fight in the mid lane. Now followed up with a couple of pickoffs, and they're right back in control. Now, it is RTZ at the top, but still, both Maybe and Sylar holding their own for LGD.
Yeah, for EG, they can try and slow things down a bit now. I don't think they have to. They're going to look to fight around, like try and bait out some of the spells from LG, fight around Haunt cooldowns. Or in that situation, it was like, okay, they just used Deafening Blast Meteor on a Spirit Bear. Let's go in and commit to this smoke gank. So they're going to look to try and find and pick and choose their openings.
Get an Ags on. Enchantress is probably one step along that way.
Yep. Because the one big team fight that went horribly wrong for them was when they just tried to fight, regardless of the fact LGD had a positioning advantage. They had all their spells up. They were ready for EG to come in on them. So that's the kind of fight that EG are going to be wary of and not look to take anymore.
Sumail pops his invis. It looked like he wanted to go on a bit of an expedition, but a little too far from home here. We'll opt instead to kind of keep these lanes pushed back. They're also still holding that top tier 1, man. LGD have not really been able to kind of follow much up with objectives here this game.
It's a big kind of weak point of their lineup. If they had a better early game, you've got Exort, Invoker, Venge, Visage, so wasn't necessarily like a glaring weakness when they drafted this. They probably thought they had decent tower push, but the laning stage advantage for EG just meant LGD found themselves in a position where they just had to farm a Spectre and they couldn't leave their base. And that's still kind of remained the case where LGD, until they win a big team fight, and that's kind of what their lineup's going to be, that's their game plan, is to try and find that big team fight where EG's out of position or you can get a good jump, find an initiation from Spirit Breaker that puts you in a position to win the fight with the follow-up Haunt. Because EG is going to be able to out-farm you on the map, so LGD, if they're not getting a good team fight soon, it's going to, like, it was kind of like we saw that big swing after the first big bad team fight around Roshan, and then the next 5 minutes of no fighting, EG just start clawing their way back up. All of these big drops in EG's net worth lead has always come from an LGD team fight, and then EG just spend like the next few minutes out farming them. It's not even had to be from team fights, from kills for EG to pull ahead.
Well, we'll see now as EG continue that kind of grind session happening here. Have a little bit of time before the Roche will be back up. It looks like the Agnums is now online here for Universe, so
Look out for this guy.
he's already got on autocast. He's ready. And it does some seriously deceptive damage, especially if you don't have a lot of experience going up against it. But all the meanwhile, top lane,
the bear.
attempted Savage Roar, but the bear will be handing over its bounty. Trying to just do a little bit of split farm in there.
Yep. They'll take what they can get,
Oh,
but they
Demon
have to
Edge?
kind of stick as 4 or 5 to do it.
Demon Edge on his
Mm.
on this LD.
The Radiance, Mischance, and I guess the possible Solar Crest from Visage. Does he have it? Yeah, no, he's just got the medallion.
But finally, time to take down this tier 1.
Boom! Oh, that was like a fifth of his HP. More, almost close to a quarter of his HP from one swipe. Visage is Ags now, so kind of a pretty high value item because you're not able to leave the base with heroes. You have to stick as 4 or 5, so familiars are often going to be split pushing, which is where the Ags kind of helps out a lot.
One extra bird for the Winter's Curse, right? We'll see here now.
Another stun, like the control factor as well is very important. The fight save one have come when like RTK with the Spirit Breaker gets a good charge onto multiple heroes, then the familiars chain stun the Lina particularly. If Sumail can't get his good kind of clean combo off. Oh, PPD, he's got back up en route.
Yep. Winter's Curse just to hold him there.
Yep.
Uh-oh, are they close enough? They're making their move. There it is. They got the Yules,
Blink,
but
he gets blink
I
off.
got the blink off.
Now you can look to
There,
turn.
a turnaround coming out potentially from LGD.
Huge
They are going to
turnaround.
get fear. They got Sumail down. This is LGD's moment right now. The commitment was a bit too far and long.
Oh.
And what started as a hopeful grab onto Maybe turns into EG losing 3.
Just sick Classic plays from maybe.
Just took a bit too long for
It's like
EG to
everyone's
get there.
talking
Yeah.
about Miracle's Invoker. How about mine, guys? Just wanted a chance to show it off, and there we go. And that's the thing for EG. When you go for that play, they did it with just 3 heroes. 2 of them were the supporting cast. Very risky against a Spectre. Not having Lone Druid or Enchantress there, even if like it's just the Spectre Haunt coming in to counterplay it, is always a good chance of pickoffs.
And it doesn't seem to stop there. While they're pushing bottom, they made their move. MMY setting up the swap right now, and here comes trouble. Invoker dishing out the damage, and they're going to be able to take down Arteezy out for 80 seconds.
Without buyback, too?
No buyback at all. He's been committing and trying to get a hold of that MKB.
Ooh, Sumail down for another 10 seconds, which is a bit of time that they can get to work on this tier 3 tower already. And by the time Lone Druid's back, you're looking at another Haunt being available. 45 seconds until that, so very tricky defense. Enchantress actually kind of annoying.
Dragonlancing from the racks. Just get the hell out of my base.
LGD need to try to get like a jump or a catch here. They kind of want to initiate while the Lone Druid's dead if they want to successfully push, and it looks like they're going to TP Spectre back. I'm not sure if they're fully retreating here, if this is just like a let's wait till Spectre's Haunt and re-engage while Lone Druid's dead. The other option is you kind of wait out Roshan, which is not up yet. Oh, it's the max duration Roche. Lone Druid's actually going to be alive. It's going to be a bit heartbreaking for the LGD side. But they won't get a chance to secure that while the Lone Druid's dead.
Yeah, unless they're able to kind of either have the Haunt or some way to make a hard commitment into the base, it would be difficult for LGD to kind of breach on a 5v5 situation.
Sigil just moving on out to try and scout what's going on, and I'm sure EG breathe a sigh of relief to know that LGD aren't securing themselves an Aegis here.
So it looks like EG will be able to recover from that. And I mean, it was a 3-man takedown. I don't know if it hands over a whole lot to LGD at that point. It did secure Sylar, what looked like his Diffusal Blade at this point. But they are going to have to get back into the grind of farming here on the side of EG, getting back the buyback money if necessary. Or at least approach this Roche pit here, because I'm sure they don't want to see LGD get yet another Aegis. Oh, look at that. How convenient. It's up now, and the bird will see all. Let's see what LGD is going to be doing about it.
This is going in these familiars once they got stunned them all.
Oh my god, straight down the river, a beautiful tornado, a beautiful setup from the Invoker right now, and it could quickly wipe the floor of EG. They lose PPD, they're about to lose Universe, and they will lose 3 just like that.
That like narrow tunnel.
It's a choke point of death right now, LGD.
That was the worst place to be positioned when the first, like, Lone Familiar gets a good stun off, then he resummons them as the tornado catches everyone in a Deafening Blast media combo. That was such an insane teamfight execution, and EG getting completely caught out there. They're not even going for Roshan, they're going straight down the bottom lane, and buyback status, Grim,
None.
It's just GG.
Whoa. Ooh. Whoa.
That was I mean, that was just such a roller coaster of a game. Back and forth, and
whoa.
Game 3. It's only fitting, you know. Every series today
has been
3 games. This one no different.
Man, that should have been EG's game. That was a wonderful laning start. They had the farm for Lone Druid, even against the aggro setup. Universe had everything he'd asked for in the Enchantress in the top lane.